We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
I'm back.
Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go
I like
down.
the way you ride with that booty on me.
It's going down.
Go down while you looking lonely.
It's going down.
Come around and it's all on me.
Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down.
So, new year, new intro. Let's get it. I'm not so sure if I'm going to promise to be a brand new me this year, but my reactions are going to be a lot differently. I'm not going to be doing the most. I'm not going to be doing above and beyond, and I'm going to stay in my lane. That is how 2026 is going to be from here out. Either roll with me or I'm going to roll over you or around you. Whichever is easier.
Okay, she headed to the dance floor and she slowly started popping it. Song like my wrist piece, everybody got to watching it. Girl, you got that secret treasure, I'm gon' put a lock on it. Don't care what they say, I would be stupid to be not on it.
Watch me flex. If you had told me 5 years ago that I would have to be setting intentions, I would be doing a whole wellness reset, I wouldn't have believed you. I would not have believed that I would be bringing my pup back in a box and not back in her fluffy bed. March 7th was one of the worst days of my life. I lost the cutest dog on the planet. All she wanted was her turkey bacon and me to hold her and get all that hair up all over. She took up half of a queen-size bed, even though she was only a 6.5-pound Chihuahua. Ethel was everything to me, and she was all I had. And when she died, I had to learn how to live again. I didn't know that I would have to go into therapy again, and I probably should not have left. I would not have just discovered how to be a part of life again. I did not know the importance of being a part of the cycle of life. I would prefer her to be here now. I would prefer not to feel guilty and to feel lonely. But it would be a disservice to her memory if I would just stop being. You lose focus, and it's just hard. But sometimes the hard thing is what makes life worth living. But through it all, my crawling my way back into life, I'm learning how to be thankful. I'm learning that sometimes you have to have intentions in quiet. You have to have a regimen of wellness. You basically start with Zumba to get the blood flowing and to wake up the mind and letting the rhythm take you to that zone. And because you are a bona fide big back, you have to do it seated, but you can still get the blood pumping and get your day started. Then you can move on to the quiet intention. You can do what you need to do to your blog posts. Even though I'm really late on getting this of my first blog together for the month of June, I'm thankful that I'm able to come up with something to be able to post. The shift in my evolution is not by accident. It's just necessary because I've have to find my way back to life to continue to live. If things remind me of that precious dog, I don't have to fall apart. I can still do to continue to be able to share her memories and to be able to exist, even though she's no longer here in her little furry, cute face body. The ritual that you can actually do, because I start my day off with hot lemon water, as well as a hot tea made with ginger, rosemary, lemon balm, and basil. It basically is prepping my body and flushing the system and getting the bowel together for whatever. Is it going to be coffee today, or if it's going to be a vegetable green smoothie? And I'm grateful for those moments every single day. It's warming, and it's just a ability to be able to receive not only your digestive system to receive and digest appropriately food. It is basically prepping you to receive and process all of the information and tasks that you actually have to do throughout the day. Higher order thinking, keeping and the alertness to be able to notice things and to be able to plan ahead. You may not be able to control everything, but you be able to control things and take it step by step to make better decisions to so your life won't be faulty or always in chaos. By the time you're ready to log into work, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You've gone through your thankfulness list. You are going to keep going because not just because you have to, because you want to. That's where all these things actually come into great focus. You get up for that second cup of coffee, preferably from my Kenya single origin from FB Roasters. You can basically step and transition from renewing. Every single day, you are in constant renewal. And that allows you to prepare for the reward that is definitely coming to you. And allow me to gather information and to be able to create content for everyone's enjoyment. It makes me be able to want to read again for pleasure. It makes me put together a reading list so you can either pick from one of my books for whatever purpose and bring it on the retreat. Just note, the link to the webpage will be in the podcast notes, but I'm actually planning a retreat right here in Chattanooga, going to the Glamping Collective. There are only 10 spots. So get in contact with me as soon as you possibly can to enjoy the quiet solitude, the fellowship when you need to, and also just the great quietness so you can just quiet your soul to receive input by book, by magazine, by doing some Tai Chi and yoga and some guided meditation, a sound bath. Again, preparing your mind to receive more of life. This rebalance is just more about kicking grief in the face, but it's also about resetting yourself to prepare you to control the next iteration of your life, wherever it is, wherever you want to be. You will get your quiet time to be able to settle your mind to either read a great book or even write a great book if you want to. We need to read the stories that reflect our own rhythms and our own ways of healing. Whether we're reading the history of the Southeast Sea Islands or diving into some new perspective of ancestral practices, the mental nourishment is just as important as the physical movement. All of those things are connected. This connectiveness is a part of the Afro-Druid ethos, which I'll be diving into more so throughout this month, throughout this year. But the tea, the real tea that you drink, dancing and coffee and stories is all a part of the rhythm of renewal. It's not a destination, it's a daily practice of showing up for yourself with a clear head and a grateful heart. If you'll excuse me, I need to update my thankfulness list. And it's too late for coffee because I'm recording this part of the podcast well into the evening. But when you can think about when you're doing your regimen of thankfulness and gratitude and renewal tomorrow morning, yes, I will be hitting either my Kenya blend, single origin blend, or my French roast. But that French roast actually had me tweaking earlier on Monday because usually I've been drinking a lot of steep tea, but I had taken my Ninja single my single serving Ninja from my RV before I took it into the shop, and I put enough of those French roast fresh ground coffee grounds into my the coffee ground holder, and it was so strong and couldn't wonder why I didn't blink for hours. But that's all good and fun. But you just got to be careful with them beans, child, because you will be tweaking like you hit a pipe or something. I'm just saying. But it's a lot of fun. Join us while we reset and renew at Valley of the Soul Retreat coming up July 23rd through the 26th. Navigate to fbroasters.com, get your gear, and get your single origin or multi-origin sample packs, or even navigate over to my Far From Beale Street bookshop and start reading a part of the reading list for the Valley of the Souls retreat. I think it's going to be a banger in a quiet way. And just let me know what you think about any books I should be adding to the reading list. And as always, take care of yourself and just continue to walk with a clear head and a grateful heart every single day. And thank you for listening. So, hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm glad you're here with me today. If you're listening to this from under a blanket or from a parked car where you're just trying to catch your breath, before heading inside, I see you. And today's episode is a personal one. And I'm sorry, I'm starting out a little raggedy, a little raw, and messy. But I'm diving right back into the thick of something we all have to face eventually. But no one ever feels truly ready for grief. You know, someone once described grief to me perfectly, and it has stuck with me for a while now. Actually, it was Nene Leakes' shading Kim Zolciak's Party City wigs, but I digress. Just because how ridiculous her wigs was, Grief is absurd. It catches you completely off guard, and yet it's entirely terrifying and consumes the room. It's not a beautiful, solemn statue. It's awkward, uncomfortable, and strange. This episode, I'm still honoring my recently departed dog, Ethel, because lately the monkey has been sitting heavily on my chest. I deeply and truly miss Ethel. Now, if you knew Ethel or you know Chihuahuas, you know they don't actually know how small they are. I think Ethel genuinely believed she was an 80-pound Doberman. She said I had the coloring of one, so I just am going to be that. She had the spirit of a guard dog and the courage of a lion, right up until the service technician actually walked through the door. I miss her. I miss her barking at motion detectors and flies, treating a blinking red light like a mortal enemy. I miss the routine of her barking at technicians who came to fix things, putting on this massive show of bravado, and then immediately jumping right behind my legs to hide the second they looked her way. She was fierce. She was a coward. She was brilliant. And she was mine. If I'm being completely honest with y'all, that's what we do here. Missing her isn't the only thing I'm carrying. There's this heavy, suffocating layer of guilt. She passed away from a blockage in her intestines and aspiration of stomach contents. And the thought that plays on loop in my head is, I didn't know. I didn't know enough to recognize what was happening until it was too late. It is a brutal thing, pet loss, because they can't use words to tell us where it hurts. And as their caretakers, we expect ourselves to be a know-it-all. We expect to be vets and mind readers, but we are neither. If you're carrying guilt over loss right now, whether it's a pet, a person, or a situation where you think I should have known, I want you to say this to yourself, and I'm trying to say it to myself too. You cannot blame yourself for not knowing, and then what you know now. Love doesn't give us x-ray vision. I love her. I love her with everything I had. And that counts for something, but I'm still hurt. When you're in this space, there's a temptation to just hit the pause button on existence. And it's massive. You want to continue to just sit out life. And honestly, for a little while, maybe you do, because I know I did. You pull down the blinds and you just stay inside. But here's the hard truth about the middle space. Even when you're waiting for external help, whether assignment of a therapist on an app, whether you're on a wait list or you're waiting weeks for your medications to finally adjust and reach steady state in your system, you still can't completely vanish. You still have to find a way to increase your participation in life. It sounds counterintuitive, right? You feel empty, so how are you supposed to participate? It's not about suddenly throwing yourself a party or pretending you're cured. It's about forcing a tiny bit of momentum, one step at a time. It's choosing one activity you used to enjoy and doing it anyways, like publishing a podcast. Even if you feel completely numb while doing it. Go for the walk, make the coffee, text a friend back, create a podcast, publish a new podcast episode, or publish parts of content and then recycle previous content because you talk that much for over an 8-year period. Just saying. You essentially just have to keep that engine idling so it doesn't seize up on your entirety while you wait for the mechanic. You increase participation not because you feel like it, but because it's the bridge that gets you to the next day. So if you're dealing with your own bald-headed monkey in a wig today, or if you're missing a little guard dog of your own, just give yourself some grace, child. Lean into the things you used to love, even if it's just for 5 minutes today. First, thank you for listening, letting me talk about Ethel, and for sharing space with me. I need you guys to take care of yourselves out there. Keep participating, even in the smallest ways. And I'll talk to you next week, if I don't decide to revisit previous content.
Slow down the morning, speed up the soul. A world of flavor delivered whole. FB Roasters, your perfect cup, just a click away. Online, on time, oh so bold. Slow down the morning, speed up the soul. A world of flavor delivered whole. FB Roasters, your perfect cup, just a click away. A world of flavor delivered whole. FB Roasters, your perfect cup, just a click away. FB Roasters, your perfect cup, just a click away. FB Roasters, your perfect cup, just a click away.
Well, here I am from the road. I have not felt like recording my podcast, but I'm grateful for the fact that two things. I've made a lot of content over the last 8 years, 6 years, 6 years, 7 years, that I can repeat episodes and it still be new to the listening audience. And I also am working with an AI agent to actually also continue to create content. My mind has been in a swirl. For those of the listening audience that don't know, the beginning of May, I lost my best friend, my little Chihuahua Ethel, who I would joke about that had the heart of a Rottweiler pit bull mix. And it was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. One of the harder things. And I haven't really completely bounced back. What I have done is re-entered therapy, and I should have never left. And this wasn't even to the point where I was going to be fired from my job. I just felt lonely and lost. And that's a lot to put on a dog, but dogs never let you down. They love, and all they want to be is love. All she wanted to do was sit in my lap and eat my food. And I would prefer if she didn't get sick. I would prefer that they could have unblocked her before she aspirated. But I did all I could do. And it's taken me a while to really believe that. You can say it all day long, but you still feel guilty. So working through the guilt, working through the pain, I have decided to start podcasting. This is the first time I've felt like podcasting in a while. I wrote out like this whole sentence or this whole speech, but in actuality, several things are true. Yes, I'm a big bag. Yes, I like food, but I really lost my my pet, my best friend, and I'm still grieving that. So I'm still working out some things. A lot of the content I'm putting out is going to be heavily AI assisted, but I hope you still enjoy it. I'm putting together the finer details on this wellness retreat, not only to help me, but to help others also get out of fog, because whether you know it or not, we are in a mental health crisis. And if I can do something to help somebody else walk through the fog to get to the sunny side before they walk off that cliff, yeah, I'll do that. Taking 10 seconds to be thankful that although I didn't have her for a long period of time, I loved her and she loved me back. And she didn't require a whole bunch. She wasn't high maintenance like her owner and other people. I'm thankful for being able to even record the podcast. Record it raw, also using all the tools at my disposal, video, audio, and being able to remix and getting something out that hopefully this is a word for somebody else. I'm just thankful that I am in Tennessee, Chattanooga in particularly, at this moment. I think big things are coming where all of us are going to enjoy life on a different and a higher plane. And we still going to have protections from the zombie apocalypse, but that's neither here nor there. I am just grateful and thankful for all of the people that listen to my show. And I hope you just bring a friend. And these upcoming episodes, hopeful that they will bring meaning to your life and help you on your journey to whatever positivity that you seek. So, where have I been for the last month? Trying to get my mind right, trying to get it together. But I hope you enjoy that. The podcast is coming back, and it's coming back in full force. And as always, thank you for listening. Take a deep breath. You're listening to Tenfro is Reading. I'm your host, Felicia Baxter. Today we're stepping away from the screen and into the Soul of the Valley retreat. From geodesic domes to the perfect morning ritual, we're exploring what it means to lead without pause. and how to finally find the off switch. Pour a cup and get comfortable, and let's dive in. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about the cost of constantly being on. We live in a world where grinding is glorified and taking a break feels like a radical act. I was talking to someone close to me about this exact thing, and as I've let the audience know, the last several weeks has been challenging in the realest of sense. I mean, I've experienced loss without compare since the death of and homicide of my father, my sister's illness, and I took on more responsibility at work, but also the loss of my little dog Ethel has brought me face to face with getting back outside and healing. The cost of not unplugging and blocking out the noise of the world, it kept talking me out of my own peace. But honestly, when you're so tired, when you are the leader who manages everyone else, you don't just need a weekend away, you need a softer altitude. You need someone else to manage the world for you, even if it's just for a few days. And all of this is why I came up with Soul of the Valley Retreat. It's not a quick trip. It's a portal to a slower pace of life. Picture this. You arrive at the Glamping Collective, which is this particular property, newest addition in their portfolio, right in Trenton, Georgia, 30 minutes from Chattanooga. You take your bag straight to your door, and you have your own private luxury dome. There are no porters, for real, y'all. If you need somebody to help you with your bags, we can arrange it, but it's not that kind of vibe. But there's nothing rushed. The days will be anchored in mindfulness and wellness. We will have adaptive Tai Chi. There's a group Reiki soak paired with a sound bath. Because this is Tenfro's reading, I've been expertly selecting reading materials and guided mindfulness workshops designed specifically for leaders who need to remember how to breathe. The culinary experience, that's where the ticket is, because I'm a big, unrepentant big bag. We start Thursday with a welcome family-style feast, local river trout and brown butter, Angus tenderloin, and peach and blackberry cobbler topped with Chattanooga whiskey ice cream. It makes you want to lick the screen. Just take a look at the visuals on the website. We close Sunday morning with a gentle farewell spread of pastries, avocado toast, mini quiches, and a seasonal fruit before an unhurried checkout. There will be also a breaking of the bread ceremony that will guide us to our final, see if our intentions for the weekend have come to fruition. This is an all-inclusive sanctuary, from the accommodations to the dining to the wellness program. This investment for transformation is $3,250 per guest. It requires you to put half down on a non-refundable deposit, but that secures your booking, with the balance due prior to you actually arriving on July 23rd. Now, I know that true uncompromising rest is a commitment, If this summer isn't your moment to claim this level of peace, I see you and I hear you. Keep your eyes open because I'm already dreaming up a separate experience for the fall. But if you're ready to stop talking about burnout and actually hit the off switch, if you're ready for the valley, the domes are waiting for you. So head over to the show notes. You can slide into my DMs for this positive experience, or you can visit the website to secure your spot. But let's get you breathing easy again. Let's be reminded of who you are and whose you are.
Let's calibrate the frequency on this one. The swamp is crowded, full of underfed, frozen-faced predators, snapping at marbles, desperate to be the chosen editors. They call it a lifestyle, but the game is just a rigged simulation. A no-win test designed to force a toxic confrontation. But the operator arrived with a full-blown session. No damsel in this room, no victim waiting for a cape. Just a mogul in the shadows, measuring the shape.
The Oprah Winfrey Network's own hit docuseries, Heart and Hustle Houston, has captured a dedicated audience by serving a distinct blend of Black excellence, Southern charm, and highly complex relationship dynamics. I usually don't like to recap shows that Reality with the King and his crew, from Monday Night Live to Monte Carlo, and even with that bubble lip Alexis Bellino, when they were recapping the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because I think they do a better job of it. So I basically do retrospective look backs and trying to dig deeper into the shows that I'm interested in from a purely technical standpoint. Some of these shows, I started doing this because also I needed to keep the cast and who was who right and what their storyline was. And I use AI, my AI agent. Thank you, Gemini, for helping a sister out. So the show itself is produced by Jesse Collins Entertainment in partnership with OWN. I didn't know who Jesse Collins was until I started looking him up. And he is a Emmy Award-winning production powerhouse, highly respected for delivering top-tier Black entertainment culture. They produced the BET Awards and the Real Husbands of Hollywood to major network specials. Their footprint on Heart and Hustle Houston ensures that while the interpersonal drama is high stakes, the series maintains a sleek, visually stunning focus on genuine entrepreneur grind, community, and personal healing. And I know there's no comparison, but this just feels different from other owned shows, like Huntsville and the Bells, etc. It definitely feels different from the blonde bubble lip version of Bravo's docuseries. So this show is a whole different vibe. And again, it's great to be able to see people that represent myself as well as most of my family and group. But these women are very highly successful in their own right. They don't seem to be on the struggle bus, but they do have their own struggles. The core group is 6 powerhouse women that dominate Houston's competitive business and social landscape. Chloe Cook, she's 44. She's known as the straight shooter. She's an elite high-end event planner who is rebuilding her life and rediscovering her personal joy after the tragic loss of her first husband. Elena Salisbury is 38. She's H-Town's glam girl. She's the visionary founder and CEO of the major beauty and cosmetic empire Color de Jour. Ro Grady Pachardi is 39, and she's the nightlife queen, a commanding and sharp-witted restaurateur thriving in Houston's highly competitive, male-dominated hospitality industry. Latoria Lemon, they don't give her age because she's probably not putting it out there, but, you know, black don't crack, so not quite sure how old she is. She's the hopeless romantic, a PR maven running an award-winning public relations firm while navigating intense personal grief. Manera Page, 43, Mrs. Perfect. She's an electrical engineer turned wildly successful digital content creator and brand influencer. Facts and goals. Just saying, Manera. Labrina Jackson, 35. She is a Southern belle. She's younger. She's younger by 4 to 10 years. She's a Southern belle, the younger elite spa and wellness owner focused on breaking generational patterns and building a legacy. The off-camera drama and storylines. Elena storyline, because I said this my last podcast episode, I believe, serves as the heaviest emotional anchor of the series. After attempting to move past the fact that her husband Josh has stepped out on her during the engagement, the band-aid is completely off. Season 2 captures their raw separation and pending divorce in real time as she fights to protect the beauty empire she built, as well as her sanity and her children's emotional safety. There's a huge mean girl fracture. A massive, explosive off-camera fallout between the seasons permanently split the core sisterhood into opposing, warring factions. The fallout radically shifted group dynamics, most notably targeting Labrina, who went from being viewed as a safe caretaker of the circle in season 1 to being branded the ultimate mean girl by her former friends, in season 2. Rose's storyline shifts focus heavily to her personal life when her ex, Javon, rolls back into Houston trying to establish a healthy co-parenting boundary for their daughter, forces Rose to confront a tidal wave of unhealed, lingering emotions that threaten her hard-earned peace. Then this is the whole Jordan role and the male baddie narrative I want to dive deep into, because this seems to be a reoccurring theme. Even in White Bravo Spear, we got Goofy West from what is that show? Oh God, where they go up. Oh my God, I can't. I'm so dumb. The whole. Oh my goodness, why can't I think? Summer House, jeez. And we got the male baddie who appears to be Portia Williams' prop in Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got Glenn. He actually thinks he's a male baddie and such a superior catch on the original Bells of Jackson. And then we got this fool who is basically, it seems like he's only positioning his stance to get more coverage while usurping Chloe's clout. He's basically, sounds like he's in it for the social currency and not for any real connection. He is the reality TV archetype, defining young, hyper-groomed, image-obsessed men who leverage high-profile relationships with older, established women for social currency. I believe Glenn and Letitia are in the Bells are about the same age, and they're in their 40s, so they ain't all that old. But I look at how Glenn's hair is perfectly trimmed, his skin is perfectly moisturized, and he's wearing all this bling like he's on his way to perform in a rap video instead of living in Jackson, Mississippi. It's hilarious. But Jordan, he's not all that bad looking. He's not all that hard on the eyes, but his youth is front and center. There's a 17-year age gap between him, 27, and Chloe, 44. It's the focal point for the cast and Chloe's protective family. Her family is just saying, nah, something's up here. There is questionable, and they rightfully so, his maturity level, and it casts a heavy shadow over his attempts to integrate into her life. Chasing clout versus commitment, his behavior constantly blurs the lines between genuine romance and strategic clout chasing. While he orchestrates a massive, highly produced wedding proposal in season 2, ironically pulling Latoria in the hot seat to plan it. This grand gesture is constantly undermined by dark revelations regarding his financial background and personal history. Jordan embodies the male baddie aesthetic, focusing heavily on his physical presentation, his curated lifestyle, and stepping into affluent rooms provided entirely by Chloe's established legacy. By ignoring the glaring red flags regarding his past and prioritizing a glossy, fast-paced romance, Chloe's storyline acts as a cautionary tale about what happens when independent women lower their guard for surface-level validation. Also, I will put the link to the Heart and Hustle Houston cast introduction and to some other discussions about the storyline in the podcast notes for your review at a later time. So, what's up with Labrina, and why is she coming off as a mean girl? That fracture about Labrina being defensive after being called out for her messy elitist attitude and then having Munera trapped in an exhausted middle ground is a combination, and it's truly reality TV gold. Her anger is when this group, Labrina's anger stems from the group stopping buying her perfect maternal caretaker persona when she flipped the script and claimed everyone else was just being fake and beneath her. That was the problem. She entered season 2 with a massive shift in energy. The moment she was overheard talking behind the woman's back, constantly saying arrogant phrase, "They're not on my level," and calling that other girl precious when we all know that is not a compliment. It got her label for the mean girl that she was being. Instead of taking accountability or offering a genuine apology for the elitism, Labrina doubled down. Her anger wasn't actually because the other women are fake. Her anger stemmed from the fact that she got caught. When she got confronted, her explanations felt parsed and backpedaling. Rather than humbling herself, she just got defensive, trying to twist the narrative to make it look like the other women were just being insecure, jealous, or ganging up on her success. It is textbook projection. She wants to maintain the high moral ground of being a spa owner who only breaks generational curses, but her actual behavior in the text of these episodes is just messy, exclusionary, and deeply patronizing to the rest of the friend group. Manera is actually, seems like she's just caught in the middle. She's in a uniquely painful position because her brand and her personality are built on structure, logic, and keeping a smooth, curated exterior. She doesn't thrive in low vibrational screaming drama, which makes her the default mediator. This part of the episode where she is there also posing with the beautiful outfits with her stepdaughter is just so classic. It's so curated. And then her oldest daughter basically breaks the facade by saying her father is just reaching for his moment. It's just classic teenager blowing up your spot, and they all go from tears to busting out laughing. And that was the comedic relief in the whole fakery of it all. And that's why I was okay with it, because it was just so grand. Also, I'm already sick of watching Labrina backpedal and sit with her head all high and her little bow collars and looking just like I'm perfect, Black Miss USA, now wifed up. I want to present this image of perfection when I'm messier than all of y'all. At least the other women own it. She ain't trying to own anything that makes her look than less than her brand and what her image that she's trying to build. And it just makes it's hard to watch her in scene. The trap is the loyalty Manera has with Labrina. It's obvious that she genuinely loves and respects her, but she's also an electrical engineer and she operates in facts. She can see clearly that Labrina has really crossed the line with her elitist comments. And she's not only why can't you just apologize, admit when you're wrong? Because Labrina doesn't think she's wrong. She thinks that I said what I said and y'all can suck it or just prove me wrong. That's the kind of wrong dynamic in a multifaceted and a dynamic group as this. The group attempts to settle the beef, and you can literally see Muneri sweating to keep the conversation productive. And also Ro, but Ro is a fast talker and she ain't with the shit. She's just like, y'all need to squash this, figure out what's wrong, and let's keep it pushing because y'all messing up my bag. Labrina keeps jabbing at the women, something that Elena and Ro are trying to tell Labrina to tone down your ego because it is not productive. We begin to find out later that Manera is also dealing with her own personal storylines, unpacking her own parents' toxic marriage, and why and how she built these emotional walls in her own life. She's trying to play a mature adult therapist for a bunch of women fighting over who is on whose level, and it's draining her spirit. I liked her when I first saw her because she was bubbly. I thought she was one of the youngest persons in the group, but these group dynamics and what's going on in her personal life is is visibly aging her in real time. Labrina isn't mad because the circle is fake. She's mad because the circle unified to hold her accountable. And she doesn't know how to navigate a reality TV landscape where she isn't the protected favorite. Manera isn't choosing a side because she knows that the second she fully commits to either faction, the entire fragile architecture of this Houston sisterhood will completely collapse. And I'll probably add on to this dynamic as the summer wears on, because it's completely fascinating. And the complex navigating of these relationships on camera is only a microcosm of what these people actually go through and have experienced a year since this was actually recorded. So I wonder how all of this is going to parse out, what new things are going to be inflamed after the episodes start airing. So I'll keep you apprised what's going on as far as on the Twitter of it all and on the Instagram of it all and in the threads of it all. So there you go. You can take the girl out of the hood, but you can't take hood music out the girl. But I'm going to end this with a word, just as I started this podcast. Do or do not do. There is no try. And that's a word from Yoda. I hope I have conveyed just how much fun I have had in creating this podcast. I've got my mojo back. Just set your intention or reset your intention. It could be daily if necessary. Mine is peace. No mental dumping over here. If I'm acting like I'm not listening, I'm probably not. I'm not your therapist. I'm not a therapist. Keep the crazy to yourself, child. You do you and leave me be. The sooner you figure that ish out, the happy you will be. So this is what I want to convey in this podcast. And that wraps another of FAFFO has a fro. Join me next time as I throw shade and point out the shade and simply have fun. Y'all have a great new year. What, y'all? What?